any sport in Detroit right now. You know, anyone want to step up and start winning some games, make the playoffs? I'm all for it.
Now, the good news is when you're picking third overall, you should get an excellent player. Whether it's a high school kid that you're taking a chance on that you don't know as much about, or if you're taking a college pitcher, you're taking someone who's got a lot of upside. That's what you would think. And whether it's someone who's going to contribute in 2 years or in 5 years, you know, that's what you're really contemplating what you want to do. But as you pointed out, you could draft an 18-year-old and trade him a year or two down the road for someone who's established as an all-star player at that point in time, because the Tigers have done that before. They did it famously when they got Miguel Cabrera. In 10 years, who cares who was the fastest? The majors get the best player and go get a high school shortstop. Yeah, I'm not going to fight anybody on the opinion. It's just my opinion is I'd go with the established college pitcher. I think both of these guys at the top of the draft, Leiter and Rocker, are both pretty good. In fact, really good. That's why they're thought of as being top 5 picks. But we'll see. You have to take Leiter. It's as simple as that. Zach Short has come up and he's been incredible. It's probably too early to judge exactly what Short brings to the table, but it's clear shortstop is his. If you take Leiter in the draft, we now have another elite pitching prospect to complement Mize School. Pitching is hard to find, making them so much more valuable as trade pieces down the line. I'm not sold on Zach Short. I like the fact he's got some pop in the bat. I like that he's fast out of the box. He can steal some bases. He seems to be a pretty good fielder, although he makes some elementary mistakes when it comes to fielding. Fundamental mistakes, I should say. But as you get more reps, the better you get. I think he's got a lot of upside as a fielder. Does he have as much upside as a hitter? Again, I'm not sold on Zach Short. Not yet. I would prefer a college player. If you're picking that high in the draft, you better be damn sure about the guy that you take, and you can't be damn sure about a high school player. That is true. King, tomorrow night, we've got Dustin Poirier taking on Conor McGregor. It's the third time these two will fight. They each have a win.
The trilogy.
The trilogy. Your thoughts on this? We're both fight guys. We like the fights. And these are
and it's a Conor fight.
It's a Conor McGregor fight. This is like Tyson back then,
exactly.
Right?
And that's where I actually want to bring up. Is Conor McGregor kind of starting to dance into that Mike Tyson category where, you know, huge name fell off and now is just a name, and you buy pay-per-views and whatnot because of the name and not because of the skill set anymore. Part of me says I want Conor to win because I want him to keep, you know, selling fights and things. I want him to be a good fighter. The other part is, like, this guy, all he does is just try to sell fights and not win fights anymore. I think he's 2-3 in his last fights, and you know, it sounds like he's kind of really pressing to sell this one with all the talk, and it seems a lot of it's fabricated, which I know a lot of the stuff is, but more so this time around for Conor. I'm still going to watch the fight. I'm not going to bet on the fight because I honestly don't know who's going to win, but I did see this interesting fact. I guess in the UFC, the last 12 trilogy fights, the guy who won the second fight is 9-3.
Oh.
So we'll find out if that holds true or not, and Poirier can cement that, but I tell you, Conor needs a victory just for Conor's sake. I think just for so he doesn't turn into that sideshow at some point. You know what I mean? I think before guys feared Conor, and now they don't fear Conor as much, and all they see is a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this guy's gonna get me paid, and I might be able to beat this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's as dedicated, if he's still trying to win fights, or if he's just trying
so
to.
Filthy rich now.
Is he just building his brand for something more? I don't know. I would hope that he's at a point where he's rededicated and wants to win a fight, because his last few fights have not gone the way that you'd want it to go.
I'll say this real quick. If he does end up fighting a Paul brother, I hope it's when he's like retired, like Mayweather. Like, it's not during the prime of his career, where he's still actively fighting, because then that to me signals the gig might be up.
It might be. Then you're a sellout. That's right. Cookies Costa.
They're all kind of sellouts. Yeah, Cookie Costa.
Hey, I brought cookies today, by the way. The same that I gave my neighbor. If you guys want to feel it out and see if it was appropriate.
You brought Oreos in or Chips Ahoy?
Hydrox.
Yeah.
Where are they?
They're just out there in the bullpen. So if they haven't been picked through already, you guys feel free to take a few.
We don't have to cut your lawn or edge it or anything, do we?
Well, I mean, since you're offering.
No, I'm not offering. I'm just
sound like they was offering.
Well, just speaking of that, we are going to start the show with my awful morning as a homeowner. So we'll get into some of that drama. Now, if you guys want to take the cookies in exchange for some services, I may have a project for you. So, no, it doesn't sound like Kang's chopping.
You're asking the wrong two guys, man.
I'm past the project age. I do. There are projects in the house. I'm not doing those projects in the house, but
it was just an awful, awful start to the day. So we'll begin with that.
Huh?
And yeah.
Was there a flooding situation?
No, it's nothing like Woj. I was able to get into work. But yeah, we're gonna have to get some advice from some people who probably dealt with it before.
Sure, that does happen. And look, you're a homeowner, man. That's the joy of being a homeowner is going through these things. These are things you learn from.
I was on the phone with my dad today, and he's like, "Don't you love owning a home?
Yeah.
Isn't this so much fun?" Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I found that I bought my first home when I was 28, and it was an eye-opening experience for the next till today. It still has been an eye-opening experience of everything that can go wrong, and you learn about budgets and everything else. So that's cool. What else you guys got coming up?
Yeah, so then we'll actually get into, and you were mentioning some of the draft with what Al Avila is going to do this weekend and reading into some of his quotes and what he's prioritizing. We'll touch on that. Plus, Mike and I, we didn't get too deep into it, but we had a kind of a fork in the road moment when we were talking about Troy Weaver and how much you trust him. So we'll get into that today as well.
All right. Appreciate it. Costa in for Rico. Mike Valeni coming up next year at 97.1 The Ticket.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This week on Lesson of Golf, we look at one of the top public courses in the area. That's Moose Ridge and Southline, and that Tucson deal available right now only at LessonOnGolf.com for just $85. Lesson on Golf, Sunday, 8 a.m., 97.1 The Ticket.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and brought to you by the NBA. The NBA playoffs are happening right now. Don't miss out on the action. And the ticket signing bonus, $1,000 11 times each weekday, powered by BetQL. Win more and cash in more with the help of BetQL. Download the BetQL app today to learn more. That's BetQL. Listen for the keyword at half past each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data reply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. WHYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Good afternoon. Isn't it brought to you by the good people of Michigan Hair Restoration? Tiger baseball tonight right here on 97.1 The Ticket, trying to bounce back from a 5-3 loss to the Twins in Game 1 of a 4-game set in Minnesota just before the All-Star break. Tonight's game, the broadcast at 7:50, first pitch at 8:10. Matt Manning in the mound for Detroit. In his rookie season, he's 1-2 with a 7.94 earned run average. Michigan State football landing tight end Jack Nickel, he hails from Georgia. He's a 3-star recruit. He had earlier committed to Notre Dame in April. NBA announces former Pistons head coach Larry Brown has won the 2021 Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award. Meanwhile, 3 USA team select players, including former Spartan Miles Bridges, are out of training camp due to COVID protocol. At Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Jimmy Cookies over here. What grown adult smashes a Pop-Tart at 5 in the afternoon? Jimmy Cookies! Come on!
He's a cookie man, he's a cookie man. Turn the oven on. He's a cookie man, he's a cookie man. When you cut his lawn, he's a cookie man, he's a cookie man. Turn the oven on. He's a cookie man, he's a cookie man. When you cut his lawn.
Today is National Cookie Day. Are you kidding me? No better way to start a Friday. All right, Jimmy Cookies. You knew we were letting that one go.
I'm impressed.
Don't worry. Roberto and I, while you were doing Crosstalk with Gator, we've already come up with a second one for you and Rico next week.
Well, volume 2.
Oh, man. We got a lot of ground to cover today, brethren. We'll get to the NBA Finals a little later because no one's watching it. We have to start. Can we do some damage control for good old Cookie Puss over here? This is a real problem.
Use the left lane to take exit 16 on the left to merge onto M10
I'm like, what's
north
up,
toward
man? He's like,
I-696 west.
Well, a bit of a tough morning. And I'm still reeling from Kenny calling in from having the poops for 2 straight days. I'm like, well, are you all right? What's going on? Yeah, the shower fell on my wife.
Exit left.
What do you mean, like the curse or the shower head? The apparatus. It fell. This one.
I'm like, Mike, I'm sorry. I haven't put a lot in the show sheet yet. I've been dealing with some things.
No, what did I say to you? I went, relax.
Yeah,
It's
the show's
11 in
gonna
the
be
morning.
fine,
I'm
yeah.
going to the office. Everything will be ready for your arrival. Try, your wife. Your wife got hit.
She's
with
like,
a
hey,
rod.
can you help me with something?
So explain this to the people the way you explained it to me because I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what the answer is either. So I'm in an older house, and we got a freestanding tub. So the only way to do a shower is it has to be like an apparatus, right? It comes up one end, and then there's a big old oval at the top. They call it like a claw foot. I've been doing all kinds of research today.
Roughly 8, maybe 10, 12 inches.
Could be. And it's attached to the ceiling on one end. Well, the metal rod that connects to the ceiling gave out, fell out, I don't know. The whole thing collapsed on itself, bent over itself. Water's everywhere. Like, oh, great. This will be fun to dissect today and figure out. Perks of being a homeowner.
Now, here's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
How do you fix it?
I don't know. I mean, we could buy a whole new shower apparatus and drill some holes in the ceiling and refasten it up there.
But you don't know nothing about it.
No.
Which means you'd have to call someone.
Right.
Which means that's probably not getting taken care of over the course of weeks.
Well, then I'm telling you, like, I don't have the money to do a full bathroom remodel, but
You
this
don't
is-
wanna go to-
No, I don't want to go down that route either. So do we put a Band-Aid on it?
Well, define a bandit.
So I'll tell you what we did, because I haven't filled you in on the second half of this.
No, I'm put the garden hose in there from outside. Yes, that's the Band-Aid. Thank you. And fed it right through the window. There you go, honey. See, you just put your thumb over it.
There's some pressure.
There's your pressure, water pressure. All right, please.
No, but I'm
Tell
saying,
everybody.
how is it even connected? Because there's no hole in the rod, like there's a screw that would have been threaded in to keep it up there. Because I'm like, okay, did it break? Did it bust? Why did this even happen? And I get up on a ladder. It's a narrow bathroom. I get all the way up there.
Wait, hold on. You're on a ladder in a bathtub.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't laugh, but literally the shower fell on his wife. And she's like, I need some help in here. I can't help it only because I know she's okay. But like, it's the image of Jim running and the shower just being
It's just in pieces when I walk in. What happened?
How's going
I'm
on?
like,
over here?
Anyway, so the way it was held up, I don't know how you build something like this. The way it was held up, there's a hole at the top that the rod goes in.
All right.
And there's a screw. Now, the screw doesn't go all the way through the rod. It just tightens enough to keep it from collapsing. So I put a Band-Aid. We just re-screwed it up there, but that's not going to stay. We're just going to flirt with this every single time that the thing shakes.
David, what the hell is he going to do?
I have no idea.
Well, if you're out there, and I need a quick fix here, because I really don't know what to tell Cookie. What the hell does he do? Because he's right. If he just screws this thing up there, the minute it gets a little loose, next thing you know, it's going to collapse on Barbara again. I mean, it would be unbelievable.
I have a
I'm not going to say your wife's name on the air. That's inappropriate.
I have a suggestion, but it's going to cost him.
What's that?
He has to completely take the tub out and actually build a real shower.
I'd love to do it,
That's
but here's
what
the
he has
deal.
to do.
Here's the deal, though.
You can't get a contractor.
Right,
Well,
that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
exactly. And on top of it, there's like a window smack dab on the wall where you'd want to put a shower, so we'd have to get all glass block windows. It'd have to turn into a whole, or a frosted windows or something.
Or you could just show the neighborhood what's going on. Who cares? I mean, whatever.
drive-through window.
Right. Well, what the hell are the Costas doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Jim's in the shower with his cup of coffee like American Psycho.
But seriously, what do I do with this? Because I can't get a contractor. I'm not going to remodel a bathroom right now.
I don't know the answer.
I got to buy a whole new one. They're claw foot is what they're called. I got to buy a brand new one.
So here's what I don't understand. So you're telling me that, so what
You
is
want me to
it?
draw a diagram for it? You got a piece of paper?
Kind of, because I'm confused. So you're telling me
Why it's coming out of the ceiling?
because
Because it's the only way to
standalone
stabilize
tub.
it. Yeah, so you got a tub,
But
and you got the shower.
the fact that it collapsed on it, I can't help it. I mean, between Kenny destroying his apartment for 2 days to the point where his girlfriend had to leave, into Cookie Man,
There's your diagram.
okay, all
So
right.
I've circled where the problem is.
I can tell you failed art class. Dave, what the F is that? You see that?
That's a quick doodle.
What is that?
See, that's a tub there at the bottom. A little half oval.
You want to play the game Pictionary? You would be the... What is that?
He drew a hangman. That's what he drew. Like the.
That's what it is. That's how the thing. I don't even know how you build a tub this way.
The pipe part is coming out of the tub, and then it's going over, so it looks like it's the shower.
That's how number two. Yeah, see, Roberto's pulled it up. Roberto, can you describe it to people?
Yeah, I just need the diagram, please.
I've never seen this before. I mean, this is crazy. Though.
It's because it's a freestanding tub, so that's the only way to get a shower.
Is there anyone in Listenerland who can help this kid? Honest to God, he's had a tough week. I mean, not only he's in here taking our abuse, now his nickname is Jimmy Cookies. And by the way, he's brought in some of these alleged legendary cookies he gave his neighbor for cutting
None
them
of you have had it. I think Kenny's had some. Kenny's the only one I think that's partaken.
Kenny's also dressed like one of those semi-retired pilots who now smuggles cocaine into the Everglades.
He wants to make Floral Friday a thing. Have you ever had that coworker that's trying really hard for something to catch on at the office?
So he looks like you look at the bass player for the Doobie Brothers.
He looks like inbred Magnum PI. All right, hold on. So while you're drawing a diagram, I want to bring Jim and Wall Blake in here. Jimmy, can you offer some assistance here to this poor kid? Jimmy. There you go. Jim, please help this guy out. I mean, what is this? Come on with
He
the wire.
needs help.
Go to Nick. He's got some help for Jim. Nick, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? I just got done remodeling Jeff Rieger's bathroom last week, so I can give you guys some tips.
Oh.
Yeah.
The contractor for the Stars here.
Yeah.
Nick, can you help this kid
got
out, please?
The houses were built in the 50s. So basically, he's got one of two things he's got to do. He's got to put new wall material up around this clawfoot tub to restabilize everything correctly, or he's got to fully tear it down and do a walk-in shower, or he's got to do a standard tub.
I'd love a walk-in shower. Would absolutely love a walk-in shower. We have an upstairs tub. I'd love a walk-in shower.
Nick, let me connect the dots here because Jim is very sheepish about this. What's your lead time? You sound like a very busy man. What's your lead time?
we're busy, but we're small. We're a small family-owned biz, so we're looking probably, you'd be like the middle of August at the earliest right now.
I tell you what I'm going to do.
You don't need to shower in July, right?
Nah, he's fine. Listen, Nick, I'm going to put you on hold. I want to connect you with Jimmy Cookies, and he can have this conversation offline. We have other things to do.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm gonna put you on hold. All right, look, Jim, we deliver. You had a shower collapse on your wife today.
There's take two on the drive.
Can I see this now? Okay.
He's laughing at me. I'm not an artist, Mike. What do you want from me?
Look up on Google, clawfoot shower trick.
Roberto, you don't understand. It's way more fun watching him totally falter. With David, let me see
I
this.
couldn't draw it. I've never seen anything like this.
That's not better.
Google it, David, and then tell me that's not what it looks like.
So there's a banana at the bottom?
Yes,
and it looks like two hamburger buns. I don't know what this is. It's two buns without the hamburger in the middle. That's what he drew.
But that's what it is.
So I assume
There's a tub on the bottom and a bunch of metal stuff up top, and you're at the middle of the burger when you take a shower. That's how it works.
Dots is supposed to be
Waterfall.
He drew dots. Remember water.
He didn't understand the first picture, so I added some critical details.
Yeah, it's
I don't understand how it would break, though, if it not being touched.
Well, it could have rocked a little bit because it's really flimsy. At the top, it's only connected because a screw is touching the rod, and if it just gets a little loose, the rod falls down.
I know what you mean.
All right, here's what I want to do. Okay, take it easy, please. Thank you. Jim, here's what I want to do. We have a blitz to get to.
Yeah.
Bottom of the eighth. We don't have to. We can. I want you to pick where we're going today. It's a Jimmy Cookies Friday. I want you to pick where we're going. We're going to put this to bed. Kenny, do we have Nick, the contractor, on the line? All right, I'm going to get you his information.
Cool.
And then you need to be an adult. You need to fix this. Otherwise, you and your wife are going to be living like animals. What are you going to do? Take sponge baths like old people?
Everything's on the table,
Or
Mike.
actually, you're so close to your neighbor. Why don't you just walk over there?
Borrow the bathroom
Hey,
over
Bob,
there.
I need to scrub up.
There's another box of cookies.
Yeah, here's another dozen.
Here's some cookies. I need a shower.
Yeah. What are you going to do on a serious note, though? If this thing's busted, how are you going to shower?
Well, we could drill a hole in it and thread like a new bolt
Do
through
me a
it.
favor. I want you to leave right now. I want you to go call Nick. Go call him. Ask him if that's a good idea.
Okay.
Because if you do something that ain't a good idea, what Nick's going to charge you is going to be a whole lot more. You always ask when you don't know what you're doing. And considering these diagrams, Jim's over here drawing space penises on paper. I don't even know what the hell that is. Just go call Nick. I'm going to take care of some business. We got a lot to do today. Tigers draft. We are going to guide you through this. We also get to the NBA Finals a little bit later. And who said it today at 4 o'clock, which is always a good time because it gives us a chance to bust balls, which is what we enjoy the most. All right, listen, buying a new car does not have to be a long, stressful, drawn-out affair like when your shower collapses on your wife like Jimmy Cookies over here. Moran Buick GMC in Taylor, it's simple to save. All you got to do right now at Moran, everyone gets employee pricing. 2021 Buick Encore GX Preferred, 24 months, starting $199 a month. Jimmy, get the hell out of here. Go call Nick, the contractor. What are you doing? Or do you want me to call Moran so you can get a car? Get out of here. Now listen. They got inventory. There's other dealers, there's tumbleweeds blowing across their lots. Not with Moran Buick GMC. It's car buying made simple, the best pricing. Stop on down and see them. After all, we're back to living life. John and Riley Kujic on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor. Or hit them up, MoranBuickGMC.com. It's Moran Buick. Experience the new Buick.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial, and we've created a very unique 5-star process that allows the majority of our refinance loans to close in 10 business days or less without the need of an appraisal. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started now.
McGregor versus Poirier 3 is all set for UFC 264. And DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, has a knockout offer for this weekend's fight. DraftKings is offering 264-1 odds on a knockout in the first round during Saturday's main event. If the rubber match ends in a first-round knockout, you walk away with cash. That's right. Bet $1 on McGregor or Poirier to win by first-round knockout, you win than $264. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 971THETICKET when you sign up to turn $1 into $264. That's code 971THETICKET. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 and over. Michigan only. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
97.1 The Ticket and Ellison Brewery have teamed up to create 97.1 The Ticket American Lager. This flavorful American Lager won't let you down even if your favorite team does. Look for 97.1 The Ticket American Lager by Ellison Brewery on draft inside Comerica Park. Must be 21. Enjoy responsibly.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
How do you keep a workout fresh every day?
Clap it up, Peloton. Let's do this.
By getting everything from endurance rides to restorative yoga, all right at home. The Peloton Bike. Nothing like working out from home. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
Something interesting. Now, no, we're not going to sit here and break down the MLB draft. I don't think that's a smart move. Because admittedly, we don't know these players. I'm not going to pull a Caputo and act like I know every like and dislike of every high school player. If Pat does, that's great, but I would also say Pat probably needs a hobby. I digress. The Tigers are picking number 3 overall. And what I want to talk to you about is philosophical. You're a Tiger fan. You've watched this team. And look, some of us believe the rebuild is a little bit over here, right? Others are moving on the spectrum towards they're a little happier with it. But we're all in a place where we know the team sucks. And we're not winning the World Series anytime soon, okay? But it comes down to where you are in your rebuild and whether you allow that to affect how you draft. Now look, you're going to say, well, that's poppycock. You just take the best player. Okay. If you're a Super Bowl team, you draft one way. You draft a piece. It's going to help you win the next year. If you're a terrible team, you take the best available player. Now, football, baseball, not the same thing. Baseball's runway a lot longer. If you're drafting at the top of the draft and you draft a college player, you can try, if you're lucky, they can be in the league within 2 years. Okay? That can happen. That's real. If you take a high school player, it doesn't happen. And I mean, even the most advanced player would take 4 years. I mean, 3 if he's a unicorn. Why is it relevant? Picking at 3, and Jimmy Cookies has returned. Good call with the contractor?
Yeah, really good phone call. We'll get something worked out.
Okay, excellent. See, we deliver. That's what we do for you. there is an abundance of prep draft picks at the top of this draft, meaning high school players, high school shortstops, like Mayer, the kid from, I think it's Eastlake or whatever it is, Job from Oklahoma, a lot of high school players.
Dallas shortstop, a Georgia shortstop.
Yeah, exactly. Then there are some college pitchers. Okay, Jack Leiter being one, Kumar Rocker being one. Vanderbilt. Casey Mize is a college pitcher. Casey Mize got here real quick. The idea is, picking third, do you with where you are in the rebuild? Even if you covet, and I know, Jim, you've got a quote from the Free Press with Al Avila, which absolutely, Al Avila terrifies me. I'm not going to apologize for that. Do you take a guy like Jack Leiter or Kumar Rocker and just go, you know what? You're here, you're mature, 65, 70% of the work is done. And if Manning falters, Skubal falters, Turnbull falters, I got a button. And I push that button. I'm going to move us forward. Versus, you draft a high school shortstop, I'm being honest with you now. You're probably talking about 2024 at the earliest. You would be able to call that young man up.
And that's if he's a phenom.
And I'm trying to be fair. I didn't want to blurt out 2025 because then the Avila defenders are going to start marching. I don't want that. So here's my question. 248-539-9797. It's twofold. I'm totally okay if you have an opinion one way or the other and you're like, hey, I'd prefer X. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be angry regardless of what they do. I think they blow. I think the franchise is a disaster. I think the farm system's nowhere near as good as some of you believe. And they need to take the best available player, and I understand that. I also would be just fine stacking another college-aged arm. In a perfect world, there'd be a college bat sitting there for you like Andrew Vaughn, the White Sox took, or of Cal.
Or say a few years back, Dansby Swanson, Randy, shortstop. He's with,
a college-aged bat would be premium. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like that's in the offing here. So, 248-539-9797. Jim, do you let where you're at in the rebuild affect what you're doing? And do you even have a preference?
Oh, I absolutely have a preference.
Troy Weaver later. Troy Weaver, Stevie Y, even Brett Holmes. You do what you got to do, boys. You want to draft goalie at 6? You got my buy-in. You know who doesn't have my buy-in?
No, and he shouldn't. And here's the reality. You look at the farm system and how depleted it is. And this isn't because of one or two go-rounds for Al. He's had ample opportunity to restock the system. You don't have a shortstop, so a lot of people are going to look at these people are going to look at these high school shortstops and go, "That's the answer." No, the answer is you're going to have to spend money on the big shortstop crop in free agency this year because you haven't done your homework the last 4 or 5 to build up the shortstops in this system. I'm terrified with the Tigers' track record of developing players to take an 18-year-old and say, yeah, 4 or 5 years, we're confident he's going to be on the big league roster. I don't know about that. I like Leiter. I like Rocker. I like with how pitchers are and how violent deliveries are, injuries will happen. Keep the cupboard stocked. Take a guy who can be here in 2 years and be reinforcements because, Mike, the timeline matters here.
What a bizarre year, though, when you look at this. Prep shortstop, Marcelo Mayer, who apparently the Tigers covet, going to Pittsburgh, Eastlake High School in California. You know what the number 2 pick is? Jesuit College Prep, Texas, Jordan Lawler, shortstop. All right, so 2 high school shortstops. You can't make it 3. Brady House, high school shortstop. Winterboro High School out of Georgia. It's a bizarre draft.
Here's the quote from Avila that you reference. It's in the Free Press. He said, the fact that this guy might take a couple extra years to get there and this guy might get here sooner, at the end of the day, we've always made the decision to take the guy we feel has the highest upside, end quote. Which to me reads, high school shortstop. Highest upside. But I'm terrified with their track record of developing guys. I'd rather take a college pitcher, a college player, period. But this draft is only college pitcher, really.
You nailed it with something you just said. It's like if I'm the Houston Astros, if it's the Oakland A's, if it's the Tampa Bay Rays, I can trust their development system based on a decades-long process of them developing young players, prep players, etc., positional players. With the Tigers, the only thing we have so far is they drafted one of the more prolific power hitters starters out of college in Torkelson, number one. That's a no-brainer. You don't really get credit there. Riley Green at 5 has become not only the shining example, he's the only.
And that's the point. We had a caller earlier this week, and he said, hey, guys, how many people in the starting lineup right now are homegrown, come up from the system guys? And the answer was 0. And this isn't Al Avila's first or second year where you can go, Jim, that's not fair. Mike's, that's not fair. You've been the general manager for a very long time. You've been in the front office going back to the early 2000s. The fact that nobody on the current roster, the everyday roster, was a draft pick terrifies me that you would take an 18-year-old from anywhere, California, Georgia, Dallas.
He doesn't get credit for Manning. Dombrowski was still the GM running the draft. So, when you really look at it now, yeah, I think you have every right to say that. And look, if Al turns it around, he turns it around. And we'll be the first to tell you, okay. But no offense, he'll be turning it around in year 7, 8, or 9 of a rebuild. I can't throw parades for that.
The timeline here. When do Tigers fans expect this thing to turn around? We discussed it again this week. The turning point that this season may be.
Bad loss.
You don't want to then say, well, actually, we're still really far away. We're taking a high schooler.
Okay.
What I'd like to see is a college arm, a lot of spending this offseason, a clear, hey, 2 years from now, we're going to be in the mix.
See, I'm with you. Like, next year, I want to make sure I say this right. Like, what they're doing right now, if they're doing this next year, but it's with Torkelson and Green and Dingler carrying it, like, let's say it's Torkelson, not Jonathan Scope leading the team in home runs, I'll be able to buy into that because those guys, unlike the Scopes, Cabreras, the Haas's, the rest, those guys have run. Those guys have pedigree. I'm with you in that if you do this right, next year you could flirt and just keep yourself relevant if there is a next year. It makes those looming label. But if there is a next year, yeah, next year it has to look a lot better, and it's got to be better with the kids, to where at the latest I'd be willing to be patient. You have to post a winning record. Winning. You don't give me 79 or 81. You need to be an 83, 85, 87 win team in 2023. You have to be competitive. Because, Jim, I'm sorry, you don't get to keep this job forever.
That's
you don't
exactly
get to keep
right.
doing this forever.
We would be effectively, 6-7 years at that point?
Dude, the rebuild really started, honestly, come on, man.
When do you, I say when they traded Justin Verlander, that was the ultimate white flag moment. You want to start it earlier? They haven't been competitive really since 2014.
Right,
so you
I'll
can go
start
all the way
this.
back.
I'll start the clock at 50 if you want me to be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could go back to when they traded away, would have been Cespedes that offseason, the final Dombrowski summer.
Traded David Price.
Yes,
I mean,
you could go back to 2015. So you can't then say, we're going to be patient. You have to be aggressive, and I expect that in free agency, and I expect that on Sunday when they draft a more proven, polished player.
248-539-9797. So again, guys, I'm not trying to bust your balls. I'm not going to sit here and break down the draft and act like I have an opinion on the high school shortstops. I don't, guys. And frankly, you'll take one of these players, and you probably won't hear from them for the better part of 4 years. I mean, you are taking a high school athlete, and it's at a very difficult position. Very. Versus college pitcher. The idea that Jack Leiter could be drafted, could be developed, a cup of coffee next year in September, and compete for an opening day roster spot or a May promotion in 2023. It's interesting. Want to do at least do a segment, maybe two, if you decide to call up. 248-539-9797. We'll go on the board at 245. I gave you a winner last night. You know what Costa gave you? He gave you cookies with mold on them. He gave you a 3-leg parlay where none of it is. Sorry, you got to do better now.
I got a game for you today. Don't worry about it.
Give me one of those 5-inning deals.
There you go.
Come on.
That's the stuff.
248-539-9797. We'll get your calls. We'll go on the board. And then 3 o'clock, we'll get into it a little bit. Maybe we do need LeBron. Maybe we do need some stars because the ratings for these finals, oh boy. Oh boy. 97-1.
There's never been a better time to find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Right now, new customers have a chance to win $100 in free bets when they place a $1 wager on the Notorious One to get his revenge at the main event on July 10th. Just use bonus code RICO100 when you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Get ready to start betting with confidence and turning knockouts into payouts. Sign up today and discover BetMGM's boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code RICO100 to win $100 in free bets if the notorious one is victorious. Get in the ring with the king and enjoy fight night more than ever. It's always showtime at BetMGM. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan Disassociated Person.
We asked people in Michigan why they got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Because I am pregnant and we wanted to protect our baby boy. I believe in the science.
Protect my friends and help our community.
I'm ready to get back to somewhat normal. I want to hug my grandma again.
COVID-19 vaccines are tested for safety and trusted by doctors. Find a vaccine near you at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services would like to remind you that when you get your COVID-19 vaccine, there may be side effects, like cash prizes, a free vacation, or a trip to the Super Bowl. For a limited time, when you get your vaccine at select area pharmacies, you'll be eligible to win a treasure trove of amazing prizes. Don't miss your shot to win big. Schedule your vaccine today. For details, visit michigan.gov/vax2win.
Whether you're interested in spending less on your monthly mortgage payments or you're considering a cash-out refinance, American Financing is the lender to call. Hey guys, it's Peyton Manning, and I like American Financing because they offer a straightforward mortgage experience, one that's focused on your needs. Because there's more to a refinance than just a lower rate. You can consolidate debt, access cash, even shorten your term. And you can learn all about it with a free mortgage review from American Financing. That's right, there's no pressure, no obligation, no upfront or hidden fees. Just a simple conversation around ways you can save up to $1,000 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Pre-qualify in 10 minutes by calling 866-781-8900. 866-781-8900. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 102334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24, touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
Odyssey's coverage of the Pro Basketball Playoffs is brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Stay in the know as we keep you updated on all the games, breaking down the action from the court, and bringing you all the biggest storylines from now until the trophy's awarded. It's the postseason coverage you crave on your favorite Odyssey sports station and streaming everywhere on the Odyssey app. Brought to you by Shell. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell.
If you're a man facing divorce or custody issues, you need the attorneys at Adam, expertly protecting men's rights for over 25 years. Call 248-356-ADAM. 248-356-ADAM. 248-356-ADAM.
This hour's ticket signing bonus keyword is Harbor. Text Harbor to 72881 for your chance at $1,000.
Coming up in about 8 minutes on the board. Right now, I want to take a few calls. We'll get some ticket texts as well. Tigers are going to draft third Sunday. It's a very interesting draft. We're not getting granular with it. It's just like a buffet of high school shortstops and then Jack Leiter at College Bridge. And the idea of, do you lean one way or the other? You know, Jim, you were talking about during the break. Don't want to go as far as to say if they take a high school shortstop that they're not going to spend in the offseason. I don't connect the two. No. You know what else I don't like? Well, like, it's funny hearing people name all the shortstops, like all the people, and no one names the guy I would sign. You don't like Correa, which it's not about not liking.
You don't prefer Correa.
No, I don't.
You want to mince words? Fine.
I gotta
you don't prefer Correa. I do. You can't be a story guy, right? With the home road splits at Coors.
Nope.
Baez, I heard you openly scoff as Gators suggested it.
Hard pass.
Corey Seager? I don't think the Dodgers are going to let him be a free agent. Who is it? Those are the big four. Who am I missing?
Guy I really, really like is Marcus Semien.
Oh.
That is a guy. Now, again, he signed a 1-year, $18 million deal. I have no idea what his market will look like. I will just tell you, versatile, real power, consistent, and I love what he's doing in Toronto. Love it. And if you put a guy like that in and around Torkelson and Green, you're creating a real core. Marcus Semien, to me, now I might be wrong, okay, is a guy who would be cheaper than some of the names you're giving me. And I actually, to be quite honest with you, I actually think he's a better ball player. I like Mark.
Finished third in MVP voting in 2019. This season, he's an all-star. He already has 21 home runs.
He's
OPS
fabulous.
flirting with 900.
Yeah. Now, again, was he going to have to pay him $20 million a year? Probably.
But what we're talking about here is taking steps forward. And that's what the offseason is. That's what Sunday's all
I
about.
only brought him up because I don't hear any hosts saying it. I don't hear any callers saying it. And I'm telling you, I think he's every bit as good as those ball players. He's a little bit older, probably comes a little cheaper, shorter runway. Why is it relevant? I don't want to sign anybody for 7 years. I don't want another Cabrera contract. I don't want to pay a guy until he's 36 years old. Maybe Semien and I can go to him and go 3 at 70. And it's a short window deal. You get the best out of you, and you pop that guy 3rd or 4th in your lineup. And now, hey, you can do some things. Versus a Correa who's like 23 or whatever it is. He's going to want a 10-year deal. No, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on a Marcus Semien PR tour. I just, no one talks about him, and I'm like,
Yeah, listen, you made
this
a
guy
case
over
for
here
it.
is better.